Here's something that I'm no longer going to be saying as a climber in 2023. Because every time I catch myself doing this, I always end up feeling terrible afterward, and it honestly does nobody any good. Pretty much the other day, I was talking to one of my friends. I don't actually remember how the conversation came up, but I pretty much was saying that I think the first V6 that I did outdoors was considered soft first grade. Mind you, I only do that when I talk about my projects. Obviously, I would never say this to anybody when they're talking about their own send or project, because that's just straight up rude, right? But yeah, so pretty much I was like, yeah, I did a V6 outdoors, but I don't know how I feel about it being called a V6. And she asked me why. And I said, well, I don't know. Everybody in this area says it's soft. It's a lot of my friends' first V6 outdoor. And it just felt a little bit easier to me than some of the other V5s that I've done. And she looked at me and said, I actually cannot stick that crux move. Because for her, she actually has to do an alternative theta, which she explained to me. And I was like, that is really hard. I don't know how you're doing that. So anyways, the moral of the story is that moving forward, I'm just not going to say anything about grade because climbing is such a subjective sport. And honestly, just because myself or maybe a bunch of other friends that I know thinks that a climb is soft first grade doesn't mean that it applies to everybody. Some people might be a little bit shorter than me. Maybe they don't have the same span, or maybe it's just simply not their style. Just because I felt like it was soft doesn't mean that it is. And another thing I realized is that I was pretty much downplaying my own achievement by thinking that just because everybody else was saying that. And it made me feel less proud of something that I should be proud of, which is getting a first V6 outdoors, which is huge. And because I felt like it was soft, I didn't feel the same sense of achievement that I should be for something like a first V6 outdoors. So it's not like that was helping me with my own confidence or anything like that either. Pretty much a lose-lose situation, so therefore, moving forward, I'm no longer saying anything like that. Also, I'm pretty sure, for the most part, most of the grades are decided after a bunch of people have gone through it and agreed on it. So who am I to say anything is soft just because it was my style? Anyways, if you ever catch me saying that ever again, to anybody, including myself, you have the right to, very gently, remind me that I made this video.